As I get a little older, I realize life is perspective, and my perspective may differ from yours. I want to say thank you to everyone that's been down with me.
Let me get some water. It's hot. Welcome back to my channel. It's Deanna Simone, and I'm here with another video for you guys. I'm starting to like making these more informal videos to help maybe educate and help you guys with some of the things that we struggle with. But today I'm going to be sharing with you all my Romanian deadlift journey and how I was able to properly execute an RDL and also go up in weight. So let's talk about it. So the Romanian deadlift, or you can call it RDLs, are a barbell lift that is used to help develop the gluteus maximus, the hamstrings, and also adductors. You can also use dumbbells if you would like to. Me personally, I love using the barbell to do a Romanian deadlift. So I believe that the Romanian deadlift is the perfect exercise to grow those hamstrings and also glutes. It's mainly important for the hamstrings. I feel like it's the best workout for them, and also this is like a staple in a leg day routine. So your girl watched a lot of videos on how to do a Romanian deadlift and how to do them properly, and also I've learned a lot of tips and tricks on how to properly execute. For me, I didn't do Romanian deadlifts for like 2-3 years. Most of my workouts or leg day routines consisted of a regular deadlift. Sumo deadlifts were one of my favorites. I'm just now introducing myself to a leg press again. I did a lot of hamstring work, so I did a lot of glute bridges, and then also gliding disc or gliding slides. So I actually wanted to challenge myself again and learning how to do a Romanian deadlift. I wanted to be able to do it properly, and I think that's why I kind of stayed away from it. And then also I wanted to be able to lift heavy in a Romanian deadlift. That was one of my goals overall on this station. My whole goal is I want to get stronger. I want to lift heavy. So I hope this gives you some background on like what I'm trying to do. So I wanted to be able to execute an RDL properly, which will also lead me to lifting heavier. So during my 10-week program, which is a squat cycle, I normally would do a sumo deadlift or a regular like stiff leg deadlift. I figure why not give the RDLs a try and put this into that program where I'll be learning how to lift heavier and progressing in my squat, but then also progressing in my RDLs. So I put this in my 10-week program. So my program consisted of 2 leg days, which were Mondays and Wednesdays, and I did RDLs both days. Both days I did the same amount of weight, and also the reps I performed were 5 sets of 8. For me, I started off at a very low weight. I did just the bar. I forget how much I did, but I'll show it here. I started off with a low weight to execute the RDL properly, and then I would move up in weight every 2 weeks if I felt comfortable to lift heavier. So when executing an RDL, my first point of contact was to be able to do a hip hinge correctly. I think that's where most of us fail, or most of us find difficulty in doing the hip hinge, because that's the most important part of this movement and doing it correctly. So during a 10-week cycle, I dropped the bar and I would just practice my hinge movement, because that's the most important movement in doing an RDL. And my focus was, you want to bring the hips back and then move your chest forward, if that would make sense. You can watch a lot of footage on YouTube. I love watching Squat University. He had a nice explanation as to how to do a hip hinge and how to do it better. He did banded hip hinges, so definitely watch that footage if you feel like you have difficulty doing a hip hinge in general. For me, I just felt like if I drop the weight and just practice the movement, I'll be able to catch on. So with creating a good hip hinge, I would stress having flat feet, and you want to have a well-balanced foot when doing your hinge movement. So with having flat feet, I would prefer not to have shoes on, so I would just be barefoot when doing the RDL. So doing RDLs barefoot, my feet were able to push toward the ground when doing the upward movement of the hip hinge. Being barefoot, it helped me not shift my feet or even my ankles, so they were able to stay well balanced. So making sure my feet were well balanced and pushing my hips back created nice tension in my hamstrings, which is the primary movement when doing an RDL. All right, guys, let's get into actually doing an RDL. I'm just trying to make sure I'm setting myself up properly, having my hands placed exactly where I need them to be, and then I get into my movement, making sure my feet are flat on the ground. So I'm making sure that my torso is locked into place. It's stiff, but it's comfortable. And also I push my shoulders back just a little bit. I'm going down for my first hip hinge, and I'm going down, but I'm not going completely low to the ground, just a little bit past my knees so I can feel that stretch in my hamstrings. I bend my knees just slightly so I can feel my hamstrings, and then also I keep a flat back. You notice that you're not doing it properly if you start to feel some tension in your lower back. That means you probably need to go back and practice that hip hinge just a little bit more. Maybe you're not hinging enough or properly. So some things to keep in mind when doing your RDL: definitely make sure you have a good hip hinge. So that's something to work on and try to do properly. And then also having flat feet on the ground, you want them to be stable, and you kind of want to push your feet into the ground. I felt like that's what helped me click in doing an RDL. Also keeping a flat back. And also keep in mind, when doing your RDL, your depth may be different than others, where mines go just a little bit past my knees where I feel that tension in my hamstrings and also glutes, but others people might be deeper, or it might not go so much past their knees, maybe just a little bit above it. So whatever works for you. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope it was able to be helpful in some way. I feel like sharing my own experience in doing certain exercises, I feel like you can gather like more information or how you would want to do it yourself. So I hope this information helped you. I'm actually going to share like a little montage of my RDL journey with you all, from the beginning when I was actually doing the exercise lighter, and then toward the end of the 10-week program where I did it heavier. So we will share that because I'm pretty proud of myself, and I've actually kept this routine in my new program as well. I think I'm addicted to RDLs now. I don't know why I was about to say hip thrusts, but RDLs. So stay tuned, like this video. I can't wait to share more with you guys and more of my fitness journey. I feel like if I were to break this up into different videos, or maybe even different exercises that I felt like I was struggling with, I feel like there's other people out there who feel the same, and we're looking for, like, you know, an outlet to see how you might be doing it. So enjoy. I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video.
Minor, rebellious and more jealous, a chip you for designer. Belt